No, said Sawyer, answering his own question. The machine wouldn't make that kind of mistake. He was silent for a long moment, then, in a quiet voice, he said, I suppose I'm scared. His flower blinked red, black, red, black. Most people are, said Logan. But not this scared, said the man. He swallowed, raised a hand. Don't get me wrong, citizen. I'm no coward. I'm not going to run. I have my pride. The system is right, and I know that. The world can only support so much life. Got to be a way to keep the population down. I've been loyal, and I won't change now. The two sat quietly as the rumbling belt carried them through the 3-mile complex. At last the man spoke again. Do you really believe that a Homer is as terrible as they say it is? Yes, said Logan. I believe it. What gets me is the way it finds a runner, once it fired at him, I mean. The way it homes in on the body heat. They say it burns out your whole nervous system, every nerve in the body. Logan didn't answer. The little man's face was gray. A muscle leapt in his cheek. He swallowed. God, he said. Sawyer drew in a deep breath. A spot of color returned to his face. Of course it's necessary. Without the DS men and homers, there would be a lot more runners. We couldn't have that. Runner deserves what he gets, if you ask me. I mean, he doesn't have to run. The sleep shop isn't so bad, is it? We toured one when I was 12, me and a friend of mine, in Paris. Clean and nice. Wasn't so bad. Logan thought of the sleep shops with their gaily painted interiors, the attendants in soft pastel robes, the electronically augmented angel choirs, the skin spray of hallucinogen, which wiped away a confused look of suffering and replaced it with a fixed and joyful smile. He thought of the quiet, dim-lit grave room lined with aluminum shelving, and the neat rows of steel foil canisters marked with the names and numbers of men. No, said Logan, it isn't so bad. Sawyer was talking again. Sometimes, though, I wonder about those DS men. I could never do it, what they have to do. Not that I'm defending runners, not scum. I don't defend scum. But I just wonder how a man can fire a homer into... I get off here, said Logan. He left the belt. Logan was annoyed at his action. He didn't live in this part of the complex. His unit was almost a mile beyond, but the man's constant chatter had frayed his patience. He knew this section, of course. A year ago he'd hunted a man here, a runner named Nathan. He closed off the memory. Idly he began walking the covered thoroughfare. Ahead was the Jewel Building. Logan paused to survey the vast mural which gave the structure its name, a climbing mosaic composed of tiny bits of fireglass brilliantly arranged to commemorate the burning of Washington. Orange, purple, and raw red flames jeweled halfway up the facade. Bodies flamed, buildings smoked and tumbled, yet the awesome masterwork was flawed, incomplete. Stark, gaping areas broke the pattern. Only the famed muralist Robler 7 could handle the corrosive fireglass, and when he had accepted sleep, his secret died with him. The project would never be finished. Directly beneath the mural, a man with a sign. Logan registered a shock. The man was about 15, with rounded, girlish figures and large, soulful eyes. A silver fringe of beard silked his chin, and his hair was worn shoulder length. The sign around his neck said, "Run." He sat image still in the middle of the walkway. Several angry citizens circled him. One of them spat on the bearded man. "Filth! Scum! Coward!" The man smiled patiently at his tormentors. He handed each of them a thin script sheet from a stack in his lap. "This is disgusting," said a fat woman, balling the script in her hand. "Unlawful!" As Logan approached, the man held out one of the sheets. He accepted it. "Reject sleep. Run. If there are enough runners, there won't be enough homers. There won't be enough DS men. It is written that the lifespan of man is 80 years and 10. 70 years. Don't settle for 21. Run. Reject sleep." A police caravan settled soundlessly at the edge of the walkway. Logan watched the two lemon-tunicked officers dismount and advance on the bearded man. He did not try to run. They led him away. The caravan lifted back into the evening sky. A woman next to Logan clucked her tongue. "That's the third maniac they've arrested this month. You'd think they were organized. It's frightening." A girl in green mist silks eased out of a doorway and fell into step beside Logan. He ignored her. The darkness had deepened and the sky was splashed with emerging stars. An air freshener hummed. Logan stopped to watch the tri-dim report. The proscenium of the TD news building brightened. A familiar 300-foot figure took solid form. He smiled warmly down at the crowd. The tri-dimensional newsman was dressed in life-leather trim fits. His giant eyes were clear and guileless. "Evening, citizens," he boomed. "This is Madison 24 with the latest news. Trouble in the maze tonight. A gypsy gang war on an express platform near Stafford Heights resulted in 2 deaths. 14 individuals were injured, including 3 gypsies. Police are investigating, and there will be arrests." The immense figure paused for dramatic effect, then continued. "The triple slayer, Harry 7, was apprehended earlier today in the Transcast complex. His friends were invited to see him off in the Hellcar, but not one person showed up. Not one." The giant face nodded sternly. "Does that tell you something, citizens?" "Tells me something. Yes, indeed. Tells me that we are a proud, law-loving people, ashamed of runners and killers, and that we are—" Logan stopped listening. He became aware of the girl at his side. "You're not happy," the girl in green said. "I can always tell. I have a gift for knowing, for sensing unhappiness.